We'll move on now to the U.S., where stock index futures pointed to a slightly higher open, boosted by the positive sentiment seen from trading overseas. At the end of the first trading week of 2018, U.S. stocks finished Friday on a strong note, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average soaring more than 200 points, with both the Dow and Nasdaq showing their best start of the year in over a decade. More data is set to be released today, with consumer credit due out at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Investors will be poring over the latest comments by leading Federal Reserve members. Today, Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic is expected to deliver remarks on the economic outlook and monetary policy at the Rotary Club of Atlanta. Both San Francisco Fed President John Williams and Boston Fed President Eric Rosengren will be delivering separate remarks at Brookings Institution in Washington. Elsewhere, concerns surrounding geopolitical tensions will continue to linger at the back of investors' minds as tensions between North Korea and the West rumble on. In Asia, shares closed higher today following the strong lead from Wall Street in the last session. With few data releases expected during the session, many investors awaited earnings releases from regional corporates later in the week. In Sydney, the S&P ASX 200 edged up 0.13% to close at 6,130.4. South Korea's Kospi finished the session 0.63% higher at 2,513 points after slipping below the flat line earlier in the day. Greater China markets traded higher on the day. The Hang Seng Index reversed early losses to inch higher by 0.16%, eyeing a 10th straight day of increases. The benchmark saw gains of 2.6% last week. On the mainland, the Shanghai Composite climbed 0.54% to close at 3,410, and the Shenzhen Composite edged up 0.22% to finish the session at 1,945 points. And back here in Africa, Gem Diamonds Limited has discovered two huge diamonds, each bigger than 100 carats, at its Lesotho mine in southern Africa. It unearthed the 117-carat and 110-carat decolor type 2A diamonds at the Leseng mine. Type 2A diamonds contain very little or no nitrogen atoms and are the most expensive stones. The company's stock rose as much as 8.2% in London trading. Lucapa Diamond Corporation also had a good new year, announcing today that it had discovered 103-carat and 83-carat diamonds at its operations in Angola. The company's biggest ever find was a 404-carat stone that sold for $16 million in 2016. And Libya earned $14 billion in oil revenues in 2017, nearly 3 times more than in the previous year, allowing it to halve its budget deficit amid a partial recovery in oil output despite continued political and economic turmoil. Libya's budget deficit for 2017 stood at 10.6 billion Libyan dinars, down from 20.3 billion dinars the previous year. Oil revenues had totaled 4.8 billion dinars in 2016. The central bank says oil earnings accounted for more than 86% of Libya's total national revenues of 22.31 billion dinars. Of 32.7 billion dinars worth of state spending, 20.3 billion dinars went on state salaries and 6 billion on subsidies.